Alright battlers, welcome back to a brand new video. In this video we're doing some light stress testing and scrimmages in the Ferocious Cup. I was first introduced to this concept by ForTheBattles. I will leave the link to the original video in the description below. If you're not familiar with stress testing, essentially what you do is you pick 3 key Pokemon and then you run those lines through anything your opponent can throw at you. In this episode, we're starting off with Minun in the lead. We have Linoone as our safe switch and then Bibarel in the back. Battlers, my opponent for this video is SunnyCheese, who lives in Malaysia. He's literally on the opposite side of the earth than me. If it is 1 p.m. in Florida, it is 1 a.m. for him over there. He is an awesome competitor. We met over Go Stadium. Jumping into game 1, I do lead with my shiny Minun, and he flexes with his shiny Alolan Ninetales. I go straight for the Thunderbolt here, and it does land, which is great, and we both make a simultaneous swap here. I don't think he meant to do that, because obviously this is much better for me than it is for him. I think he was trying to trap my Minun there. He's actually going to fire off a charge move, and expecting something big from this Sand Slash, I do shield and it was an Earthquake. So we're actually going to get very close to water gunning him down, but that Mud Shot charges so quickly I didn't want to risk it. So we're actually going to bring him down with the Surf, and he comes in with Umbreon. Guys, with this line, I don't have an obvious Umbreon counter, so we have to defeat this thing by committee. We're going to use all 3 of our Pokemon here to try to bring down the king. So as you can see here, he does fire off the Foul Play against my Bibarel, and I'm going to return fire with the Surf. I had a comment on one of my YouTube videos earlier that Surf is actually the more energy efficient move. Thank you so much for that comment. I have incorporated that into my strats. The switch timer is up, so I switch into Linoone. I know Linoone can take these hits no matter what. I actually did some research on PvPoke after this, and if you look at the Umbreon matchup in particular, what you find is that with Foul Play, that's actually the optimal move. With Last Resort, you come out with I think 3 or 4 more HP than you would otherwise, but the surprising thing I found is that Dark Pulse actually beats Linoone handily. You come out with much more HP than you would otherwise. Guys, in this game, this Alolan Ninetales brings us so low. He's actually going to charm down both of our Pokemon, and Minun is the last one standing. He gets to the Ice Beam to bring down our Minun, and he wins in a Nail Biter game 1. For game 2, we are using our same lead, Minun, and we're going up against Umbreon. A little matchup mastery for us here is that if you want to beat Umbreon with Minun, you need to shield bait with the Discharge and land the Thunderbolt. I do go for the Discharge there after charging up to Thunderbolt, and he does not take the bait. He's actually going to fire off a charge move here, and I will allow it through. It is that Foul Play, and he's got a ton of energy. The Snarl post buff is just so insane. Actually going to charge up a few more Sparks here and then go for the Thunderbolt, hoping that he would not shield, and he does, which is doubly bad for me. I do bring in my safe switch Linoone, and in comes Suicune. I think this was a panic swap, but watch this, guys. He plays this Suicune matchup beautifully. I do land the Grass Knot, and I think he's going to let this Suicune go. He does fire for charge move here, and it is Bubble Beam. Not a huge deal. I am firing off these Shadow Claws, and I fire off my Grass Knot. I think this is going to be it, but he shields, and I should have known better, guys. I should have known better. Look at this. Hydro Pump. Boom, Linoone, done. Awesome gameplay by SunnyCheese. He's the best Suicune player that I have faced so far. That is a very difficult Pokemon to use. He's got Nidoqueen, and I know I'm in serious trouble here. The only chance I have is to keep my Bibarel around long enough to surf that Nidoqueen. Guys, I apologize for the notifications. I do flip it into Do Not Disturb here in a moment in the next match, so please stay if you're watching and you're annoyed by those. They're going to go away. So I do fire off the surf here. There was an opportunity for me to charge a few more water guns. I need to get better at counting my Umbreon Snarls. I use the Surf here against Nidoqueen, and luckily we're able to water gun it down for the win. For game 3, here comes Minun. We're leading off against Alolan Raichu. So this is an interesting matchup. Grass Knot does hurt, but Discharge actually hurts it a lot as well. We are going to land that, and I attempt to go for my safe swap, but it doesn't work out for me. I'm going to shield Minun here, just in case it was a Psychic or something like that. Bring in the Linoone, and those Shadow Claws are doing serious work to part Psychic type Alolan Raichu. He's going to get off that Thunder Punch, but I've got a ton of energy. I was worried about a second Thunder Punch, but maybe he overcharged or overtapped. In comes Alolan Ninetales. Guys, I did a little bit of research on PvPoke as well, and I do have Thunder on my Linoone here. It is a hangover from my Freestyle. I know Dig is a preferred move here in the Ferocious Cup. Dig and Thunder actually both do 59 damage to Alolan Ninetales, so that's a little factoid for you there. He's going to fire off a charge move. I probably could have gone without shielding the Psy Shock. I don't know. I just decided I would shield it. I do go here for the Hyper Fang, a cheeky Hyper Fang, trying to land it, and we do, doing a great amount of damage to Suicune. And because he switched, he is switch locked. So this is great for my Minun. I bring him in expecting, oh gosh, expecting the Bubble Beam. I get hit with the Hydro Pump. So again, great Suicune play by SunnyCheese. I'm trying to get here to another discharge, and I knew if I could, I would probably win the match, and we do, which is perfect for us. There's not much left of Minun to farm here, so I'm feeling comfortable. He does bring in that Alola Ninetales, but it's so weak that post lag here, a few water guns are going to bring it down, and we take game 3. For game 4, you guessed it, here comes Minun, and he is catching on. He brings his Sand Slash. I do swap into my safe swap Linoone, and he brings out Alolan Raichu. So again, this is not terrible for me. Those Shadow Claws are going to do well. I actually land the Grass Knot, doing a great amount of damage, and here I probably should have shielded Linoone, recognizing that I need to keep it for that Sand Slash matchup later. But yeah, I do have the Bibarel as well, so I have overlapping coverage there, which is very important in the Ferocious Cup. I do fire off a Grass Knot against the Umbreon here. Umbreon versus Linoone is very interesting. I'm going to save my shields for the Bibarel because I know I need it to face off against the Sand Slash later. I do fire off another Grass Knot though, which is just icing on the cake. We are really working down that Umbreon. I decided to bring in my Minun here because I know that my Bibarel is very important to the team. He does fire off the Foul Play and then swap into Sand Slash, and now he's switch locked again. So I forced him to switch lock himself, which is very, very good. We do have to shield that Bulldoze, and I'm going to try to farm down the Sand Slash, but man, those Mud Shots charge so quickly. I know that the Umbreon is weak, so I'm comfortable here. I think I can burn enough shields to hit him with enough damage to win. I do fire off the first Surf, and I have a second Surf back to back. He knows he can't take it, so he is going to double shield the Umbreon. Bibarel is pretty healthy still, so unless he's got double charge moves here, I'm feeling pretty good. I do get to the Surf luckily, and we're going to finish him off with the Surf. Again, beating Umbreon by committee is tough, but you're going to have to do it a lot in this cup. He leads that Sand Slash again, so we are running it back essentially. I do bring in my Linoone. We encounter a little bit of lag, but in comes the Umbreon, and yeah, this is going to be a little tricky. Guys, I highly encourage you to watch Jay Farm's video on using Linoone as a safe switch. He did a really excellent job on that, and of course, him and Scrub Lord Dustin are just so hilarious. You need to check them out if you haven't seen them already. I will leave a link in the description. He does fire off the Foul Play there, and here comes another Foul Play. And Linoone, being a normal type, is going to not take too much from those Dark type attacks. We do fire off the Grass Knot here, and at this point, I am going to let this attack through. I want to save my shield, and we almost get to another Grass Knot, but luckily for us, he actually burns his energy here, which is very, very helpful for our team and our position. I'm trying to get to the discharge here, and we do. I'm hoping he will not shield this and let me take the Umbreon, and he does. Now that Umbreon is out of the way, we're facing off against that Sand Slash, and again, this time, instead of swapping and being super aggressive, he is actually going to allow me to play myself into a bad position. So he's learning on the fly. As I said, he's a very, very smart trainer, a very good trainer, and I love battling him. It's hard to line up our schedules on the opposite sides of the world, but it's always so much fun when we make it work. SunnyCheese, if you're watching this, you're awesome, and we should play more. He does get hit by the Thunder Punch, but Minun is in, and Minun might have a chance here. Actually, against the Sand Slash, it probably doesn't. So we're going to try to bring down the Alolan Raichu at least. We go here for the discharge and learn how much damage that does. In comes the Sand Slash, and we are cooked. The Earthquake will finish it, and SunnyCheese wins. Alright battlers, that was all for part 1 of this video. I actually bring a brand new trio and we take on SunnyCheese in part 2. Battlers, I'll make you a deal. If we give this video to 30 likes, I will release part 2 of my Ferocious Cup Stress Test practice. It only takes a split second to mash that like button, and it helps me so much with YouTube's algorithms. If you enjoy this content, if you want to see more stress tests, let me know in the comments below. With Ferocious Cup, because of the way the meta is structured, I think building a solid line of 3 is more important than ever. It really is going to win you some matches and just be very vital for your success in this cup in November. So if you like this content, please comment, like, and subscribe if you are so inclined. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.